Either exarpitis, it got really crazy in the crypto world. You won't believe this, but XRP might now come with a jail sentence. Do you believe it? That news is really crazy. It's almost hard to believe. There's no stopping the crypto world from going crazy. And if you hold on to XRP, you could go to jail right away. Yes, it's like, oh my god, what the heck is going on? First, let me explain. Nota bene, 2 years ago, people who worked with cryptocurrencies had to deal with the threat of a strict regulatory bill. The worst fears seem to have come true. A new rule has been passed that requires the Internal Revenue Service to be notified of large cryptocurrency transactions and given information about the sender. Many questions have been raised in the cryptocurrency community about how to understand and apply this regulatory measure. A new analysis of an amendment to the US Internal Revenue Code says that anyone trading or doing business with cryptocurrencies in the US must now tell the IRS about any transactions worth more than $10,000. This developing event, which started on January 1, has led an expert to explain what it means. The expert stresses that anyone receiving cryptocurrency worth $10,000 or more, whether in a single transaction or a series of related transactions, must immediately and within 15 days give the IRS all the necessary information. If you don't follow the rules, you could face crime charges. The sender's name, address, and social security number must be given along with the amount received and the date and type of transaction. How does that sound? What did you say about decentralization and privacy? That doesn't look like it. As things stand, there seems to be a disconnect between the ideas we associate with decentralization and privacy and the real world. The main part of this bill looks like it will have a big effect on the basic ideas of decentralization and privacy, because big cryptocurrency transfers have to be reported and personal information has to be given to the IAs. The bill seems to go against the main ideas of decentralization. Decentralized system usually means that each node they can make its own decisions and is not controlled by a central authority. However, the requirement for transaction reporting adds a layer of oversight and management. In addition, the need for sensitive information like names, addresses, and social security numbers goes against the idea of privacy. Like often linked to deals involving cryptocurrencies. One of the best things about cryptocurrency is that it gives people privacy and freedom in their financial transactions. Despite this, the bill's provisions seem to weaken this stance by requiring their sharing of private information, which would make transactional privacy less likely. This difference is especially interesting when you think about how important decentralization and privacy are in the Ripple XRP community. Brad Garlinghouse, one of the main developers behind XRP, always talks about how important decentralization is and how it affects everyone in the system. In XRP, the focus on decentralization is more than just a matter of taste. It comes from the idea that decentralization gives people more power by spreading control and impact across the network. Their commitment to decentralization shows that they want to create an environment that is pushed by the community and welcomes everyone. But the new legal bill is a new problem for Ripple's plan to be decentralized. The bill says that transactions must be reported and personal information must be shared. This seems to go against the idea of decentralization that XRP wants to keep. This change in regulations could make it harder for Ripple to move towards decentralization. It also shows how legal oversight and the goals of some decentralized cryptocurrency projects are at odds with each other. If we didn't know, XRP is used in a lot of big deals every day, sometimes even every hour. The first thing that happens in these deals is that the money is taken out of the escrow account. In addition, XRP is a key part of a lot of different projects that are part of the huge Ripple community. A lot of small and large trades happen on the Ripple network all the time, which makes XRP very flexible and important for supporting financial operations and projects. But right now, there is a lot of doubt because the IS is going to be around because of the new regulatory bill. Nevertheless, even though the regulatory bill is another problem for XRP, the coin has a history of strongly overcoming difficulties. Throughout its history, ZBCRP has constantly shown an amazing ability to overcome problems and come out stronger on the other side. Let's not even talk about the never-ending stream of cases that XRP had to deal with. This toughness comes from the constant support of the project's community, the flexibility of the project itself, and the strategic way its leaders have dealt with problems. While recent changes to regulations could be a problem, XRP's past success shows that it can handle these kinds of problems well. The cryptocurrency has shown that it can change with the times, find answers, and stay on track even when outside forces try to stop it. XRP funds are likely to feel confident because of how strong this is, showing that the project can handle the changes in regulations and keep working towards decentralization, even though they may be hard at times. In the world of cryptocurrencies, It's important to know that the path of important projects is often paved with obstacles and problems. Overcoming problems is an inevitable part of making something important and new. Each problem that is solved becomes a building block that makes the project stronger and more resilient. The story of how a project grew and changed would not be complete without the stories of the problems that were solved along the way. Through these tests, the project's skills and determination are shown. Each problem that the project faces becomes a chance to show how flexible it is and how strong its community and leadership are. To put it simply, problems are not a sign of weakness. They are an important part of making it. Getting through problems is what gives a project its personality. It shows the world how strong it is and becomes a major player in the constantly changing world of cryptocurrencies. But there's one more important thing to think about. A user recently asked an interesting question on Twitter. Why does the IS need to be involved with cryptocurrencies, especially since the EC has always been careful about the crypto space? That is, when that the EC has concerns about cryptocurrencies, which makes the legal environment interesting. The CC is about to make a decision on the first ever Bitcoin ETF, which will be for Bitcoin. This makes the question even more interesting. If the choice is approved, it could be a big change that brings tens of trillions of dollars into the cryptocurrency. In this case, the user's question suggests that the IR's bill might only make sense when the cryptocurrency market is more established and accepted, especially since an ETF for Bitcoin might soon be approved. Some people think that the IR's bill and other legal steps could be preparing for a more mainstream and regulated crypto market, which could be shown by the possible approval of a Bitcoin ETF. These recent changes in regulations bring up interesting questions about how the different regulatory bodies in the Bitcoin space are changing and interacting with each other. I'm really confused. What would make officials spend time and money trying to control crypto if in the end an ETF for Bitcoin won't be approved? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for them to be working on rules like the IRS bill unless they're waiting for a big event like the approval of a Bitcoin ETF. Then, from my point of view, the approval of a Bitcoin ETF would be a turning point that would open the door for mainstream support and institutional participation in the crypto market. If regulators weren't ready for this change, it makes you think about why they are trying to control the crypto area. It seems like more rules are expected to be needed for the crypto market to become more developed and accepted by most people. The current efforts to regulate the market could be part of a bigger plan. But what do you think about that? Put your thoughts down below. And that's the end of this movie. Thanks for seeing it. Thank you for reading. If you liked it, please click the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and most importantly, don't forget to follow.